There's a group here in Albuquerque with the sole mission of saying thanks to as many World War II veterans as possible by flying them for free to see the World War II Memorial in Washington. They just returned from their inaugural mission. News 13's Matt Grubbs takes us on their emotional journey on an honor flight.
The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington National Cemetery stands not only as a monument to military sacrifice, but as a promise our nation will never forget. It is a promise made good to 22 New Mexico World War II veterans on a cloudy morning in June.
It brings back so many memories I hadn't thought of for years.
We were just damn young kids. But everybody knew their job.
The Second World War was the kind of all-encompassing, nationwide effort that is hard to understand unless you lived it. And then it is impossible to forget.
Everybody you talked to, everything you did was so intense on getting this thing done and what.
You know, that whatever it took to get that done, whether it cost you your life or not, you thought, I think, more about what we had to do.
With freedom in the balance, 16 million U.S. servicemen went to war at a cost of hundreds of thousands of lives.
We all had to go sometime.
We did what we were told to do.
Then, millions of soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines came home.
Got on a railroad and went back to Rochester, New York. Got married, went to work at Kodak.
That's that generation. They just put their head down and they started, working and building what we, have today.
Men like Joe Ryan, Bill Lovick, David Epstein, they were so good at doing what their country asked that their country began to take them for granted. It took nearly 60 years to build a World War II memorial. With hundreds of veterans passing away each day, it is a certainty many will never see it.
I don't know how else to say it. Well, we just run out of time.
And so, at dark 30, nearly 24 World War II veterans loaded onto city buses for another trip of a lifetime, honor flight, with salutes from grateful veterans and servicemen and women. Escorted by APD down a freeway closed just for them, they zipped straight through security.
I'm pretty excited.
Onto an airplane.
I appreciate all that you guys have done.
Donated to Honor Flight for the trip and escorted every step of the way by guardians who paid for the privilege. A squad of 80 and 90-somethings took off for Washington, D.C., united by a bond so close, a commitment so complete.
Hey, here he is, another superstar.
That even passing strangers.
Here comes Joe.
These men gave all, and, least we can do is honor them.
Couldn't help but to stop, shed a tear, and applaud.
Because they went through something so incredible together with the common goal of securing our country and protecting our freedom. How can you not love that?
How can you not, 70 years later, say thank you?
This is wonderful. Oh boy.
Can't thank the people enough for letting us come.
It brought tears to my eyes. She said, "Sir, thank you very much for your service. Thanks for telling me this today." She said, "I'll remember you the rest of my life."
But it's a great thing for a lot of us guys that never had the chance to come down here.
I got a few tears. There we go.
For a few precious hours, veterans who came home and packed away not just a bag full of gear, but a lifetime full of feelings, had the chance to sit and remember.
Oh, probably something. It's twofold. I'm impressed with it, but also it brings the regrets of those who didn't come back.
The entire day, anyone who saw them parade by said thanks.
Appreciate your appreciation.
School kids from all over, I guess. There were school kids like crazy, and they used to come over and shake our hand.
Jose Garcia's family will tell you he's not one to tell war stories.
Last night it was a crazy night.
Jose says they're not easy to tell, especially with those who weren't there.
We used to cry about it and then laugh about it.
Honor Flight gave them the chance to do that once again, and then it gave them a little bit more. Mail call on the flight back to New Mexico, an envelope filled with letters from loved ones and from complete strangers. A waterfall of thanks in preparation for a homecoming, unlike anything they remotely expected.
I'll never forget it.
What did you think when you walked out of that door?
Oh, man.
The 22 men of northern New Mexico's first honor flight returned home with another lifetime of memories and the promise that all they gave, all they sacrificed will always be remembered by a nation that owes them everything.
Don't forget the war. Don't forget us.
Matt Grubbs, KRQE News 13.
The VA estimates there are about 8,000 World War II veterans in New Mexico. The group hopes to take as many as possible to see the memorial.
Life sometimes plays out in unexpected ways. A Hollywood legend, a man who created a unique special effects technique, was forced to come to Albuquerque for medical treatment that he needed to save his life. He ended up staying, and now he uses that same technique he developed for movie making to show the city that he loves in ways you've never seen. Here's Kim Holland.
Well, that sky looks nice. You can find beauty almost anywhere. Here we go.
Bill Tondreau.
The beauty here is this exceedingly simple scene.
Wants people to see the beauty of Albuquerque.
Oh yeah, I'm still actively working on it.
As he sees it.
I kept seeing these great scenes, these really wonderful scenes, and I kept saying to myself, gee, why aren't people taking pictures of these?
He fell in love with photography as a kid.
My earliest memories of photography were as a 4-year-old watching my mother.
But recently perfected a new skill. A decade ago, he picked up his digital camera and captured the sun slipping down the Sandia Mountains, stretching across the high desert, and quickly turned an amateur photographer
Something clicked.
into a renowned artist.
Through totally undeserved beginner's luck, got one of my best pictures ever, one of my best sellers ever, that very first night.
But these aren't just any photos. Tondreau uses a distinctive technique he perfected almost 1,000 miles away in Hollywood. Decades ago, Tondreau wrote the computerized software that creates the same camera motion multiple times to overlay scenes, crucial for special effects. He also designed the dollies and electronics. For more than 30 years, the system has been used in thousands of movies, including huge blockbuster ones, most recently the Lord of the Rings series.
And that repeat motion camera was used to be able to mix together normal-sized people at Hobbit scale, at 3 foot 6 inches.
Then in 1988, Tondreau moved to Albuquerque.
I said, oh no, Albuquerque?
Kicking and screaming.
Are you kidding? That's out in the middle of desolation.
He was forced to come.
This really peculiar thing.
For important medical treatment.
It was life-threatening, yeah. It was a brain tumor. And it was an experimental treatment. And it was very successful. And on about the 3rd week of that, I realized how my blood pressure had gone down, how I was a lot more relaxed. By golly, I just decided to stay.
In 2005, Tondreau started using some of his skills he perfected in the movies to create his unique Albuquerque photographs. Overlapping shots with different focus and exposures, capturing the city as the light glides across the landscape.
These very elaborate sequences required to shoot these long stitched, joined together panoramas. We'll move the camera to the next position, overlapping the previous one a little bit. To shoot a 9-picture panorama might mean that I have to shoot 36 or 72 or more pictures.
Tondreau's art is a top seller at this gallery at 6th and Central.
I sell at least one a day, if not 6 to 8.
I had gone out to that location almost every day for an entire summer. The river happened to be pretty high. This was late October here.
Showcasing Albuquerque to the rest of the country.
We're all honored to have him. He's an incredible gift to the city of Albuquerque.
I started shooting this about 15 minutes before sunset.
Thousands of Tondreau's photographs are scattered all over the U.S. No pun intended, the overexposure of the photos, if they're everywhere, that doesn't bother you?
No, as long as people enjoy them.
Tondreau is now gearing up for his prime photo season, late summer to early fall, when colors are vibrant.
That's the season when Albuquerque is this, especially says cheese. Albuquerque is a marvelously photogenic city. I think people forget or get too used to it.
Kim Holland.
These are the story of Albuquerque.
KRQE News 13.
Wow, is that cool or what? Now, if you want to see more examples of Tondreau's work and hear him explain how he melds those photographs together, just go to krqe.com. It is all right there. It's a school where the students do not need any urging to pay attention. They know that if they don't learn their lessons, they could die. The school is the Colorado Fire Camp, and as we head into another wildland fire season, it's teaching a new crop of students how to fight those always dangerous fires and live through it. News 13's Dean Staley got a first-hand look at what's at stake.
Right there, bro. There you go. What kind of fire activity we're going to see off of this?
They are gathered in the mountains outside Salida, Colorado.
All right, moving.
Squad 1 moving.
20 men and women, young, strong, and hoping to earn a spot on a wildland firefighting crew.
It's a great calling in life, that it is a dream.
Kent Maxwell, a lifelong firefighter, started this camp more than 10 years ago.
Something where there is the teamwork, the camaraderie, the adrenaline and excitement that a lot of kids really love, that the idea that you can do something where people really appreciate what you do. Not every job in life has that opportunity.
But that opportunity comes at great risk.
Not only is wildland firefighting one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, it is also one of the most physically demanding. Carrying heavy packs for days at a time, digging lines in the dirt for hours, all while keeping an eye on the weather conditions.
And every wildland firefighter knows that a change in the weather can turn a routine assignment into a death trap.
People got complacent. Yarnell happened. I mean, what'd they gain in Yarnell, truly? You would have never heard of the Yarnell fire if they wouldn't have got killed.
Just last year, the Yarnell fire in Arizona. A hotshot crew of 19 highly skilled wildland firefighters was working to contain the blaze as it burned slowly away from them. Winds from an afternoon thunderstorm pushed that fire back toward the crew. They were caught outside their designated safety zone. The wall of flames, pushed by 50-mile-an-hour winds, overtook the hotshot crew.
Maybe, everything was right at that time, and it just was a Mother Nature event, and the fire spread a lot faster than they thought, and it cut them off in the Box Canyon. We'll just never know. We identify the elements of the fire triangle.
Instructor Chris Bainbridge wants to make sure his students take a lesson from the deaths of those 19 firefighters of the Granite Mountain hotshots.
There had to be somebody on that crew of 19 that went, this isn't right. And maybe their cohesion was so tight that nobody said anything. And that's what we try to teach in those classes. If you see something, say something.
I don't think they received any more instructions on what to do.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Then once they find out that information, then they can break up into
so we could say tactical.
Because there are times when no amount of skill or strength or speed will save you.
When a fire takes off, we're dealing with a crowning fire, running treetop to treetop, 100 to 300 foot flame lengths. A fire that's throwing embers a quarter to a mile ahead of itself, starting new fires.
Yeah, so we got wind coming this way and slope this way. And when this thing starts picking up steam, I guarantee he won't be standing
In those
there.
moments, one of the most important lessons of Wildland Fire Camp is when not to fight a fire.
That they get too excited, that they lose their situational awareness, that they get too like a moth to a flame, that they see the flames and they're like, oh. and they forget all the stuff that we've talked about. And that's real easy to do.
Your job is to try and protect those.
Trainer Damon Lang has been fighting fires for 25 years.
If it can happen to them, it can happen to you. Here's the best trained firefighters in the country. If it can happen to them, you know, be on your guard.
I love what I do, the part that Fire Camp plays in helping people chase that dream, balanced by the knowledge that it can go seriously wrong.
I better never, ever be getting audited because you got hurt and had to pull your fire shelter, because you should have never been in that position.
I want them to leave this with the belief that someday they're going to have the gray hairs that I have, and that they're going to look back upon a long career as a wildland firefighter.
All right, face to the left.
At Colorado Fire Camp, Dean Staley, KRQE News 13.
There are more than 30,000 wildland firefighters across the country.